And I don't really use Twitter at all, so I'd never really experienced the kind of the vicious side of Twitter. And I have to say, it shocked me. It really did hit me.
You seem to have adapted really well in recent times throughout these various lockdowns. Like I said at the start, not being able to make the sort of content that maybe you would have otherwise. And you've taken up some colossal investigative tasks, let's call them, such as finding the woman in the stock photo, trying to find a winner of Takeshi's Castle. No winners this time, and putting to bed the UK-wide, this is my favourite one, the UK-wide debate of the whereabouts of the Frosties kid. I can't believe that video.
What happened to that guy?
I know.
Me too. When I was making that a video, I was like, this is going to bang. But nothing happened. I mean, I was really happy with the video, how it turned out, and Sven was such a nice guy. But yeah, that was one of those videos that I thought, oh, here we go, strap in, Max. This is a big one. But then it just didn't really go anywhere.
What's been your most enjoyable video recently?
I really, really enjoyed the making the roundabout video. So for those, I recently bought my own roundabout. I paid a parish council 500 quid to buy it. Well, not buy, sponsor a roundabout, which basically let me put a plaque in there with my name on it. But that was a video that I really enjoyed purely because it was an experience and an example of how doing something, you never know what's going to happen, where it's going to lead. So initially the plan was just to buy a roundabout, open it, and that was done. But then I found out when I got there on the day that the roundabout itself was right next door to this celebrity that if I'm honest, I didn't know of. And that added a whole new element to the story. So I really enjoyed making that one because it showcased that, hey, if you try new things, you never know what's going to happen. And it was such a great ending to the video because it was so unexpected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed the video with the printed CV on top of the car outside Radio 1, just because it highlighted how proactive you are in chasing these things. And it certainly caused quite a stir on Twitter. I'd say
it has, Liam. It has. Yeah. That was the first time. So the video with the CV on the car, like, I printed my CV, put it on my car, and parked it outside of Radio 1, which was my dream job. Now, I like to say that this is not a new idea. People say, oh, how'd you come up with the idea? This is not a new I nicked the idea from a guy did it in 2008 when the financial crash happened. He bought a billboard for £500 and just wrote hiresam.com, and he got loads of jobs and it got some press. So I thought it's been long enough time for me to kind of redo that. Anyway, so I did this video and printed my CV on the top of the car, and it did. In the picture I posted on Twitter, it did say that I went to Harrow School. And I don't really use Twitter at all, so I'd never really experienced the kind of the vicious side of Twitter. And I have to say, it shocked me. It really did hit me. And there was a lot of kind of conversations that I was having with my family and friends about it. Because it hurt. Like, people were saying, this is just a guy who's just using his privilege to get what he wants. And I didn't respond to any of it because it wasn't really my place to do so. But it was an experience in which I learned a lot from that. And as long as I was thinking, well, look, I know in myself that I've worked hard to get where I am today, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, it did slightly cause a small class war on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's a dangerous place for things like that. If people have an opinion, they can't let it go. It's like if let's say they went clothes shopping and they saw something that they didn't like, instead of just walking past it, they'd pick it up, they'd find the designer of the clothes, then they'd go to the manager and they'd have to tell them their opinion. But it's a shame that affected you, and that, you know, maybe you weren't able to shake that off, the sort of reputation that precedes you with the Harrow education.
I think the reason why it upset me was because I have tried really hard to acknowledge the position that I have been in. I've spoken on many podcasts, and I've been very vocal about how lucky I was to go to a place like that, and it felt like these are people who don't know any of this and they don't know me. And so I can totally understand, although it's difficult to hear, I can understand where that was coming from. Because I myself really dislike when I see people who are from privileged backgrounds getting things that I don't think they deserve. So I totally understand what the allegation that was levied against me, but it was difficult for me to hear because I felt like I had done a lot that combated that or explained my situation best. So I think that's why it hurt. But a couple of days later, I was all fine again. And luckily, the video turned out great and has been something that has done well. So I think the last laugh's on me.
Has that led anywhere?
It hasn't. Like I say in the video, I spoke to the head of Radio 1, Alan Hayden Jones, who was very, very nice about it. He said, look, really well done, really rate it. I hear that there was some whispers within the BBC that weren't so happy about it. But that's the extent of what I know. But Alan said, look, I am thinking of you. You're in my head. If something does come up, I'll let you know. So it's more of a we'll be in touch kind of thing, which is I don't know whether that's a positive thing or that's just a very polite way of saying, okay, you've had your fun, you've had your 5 minutes, now piss off. So it's going to be a bit of a wait and see moment to see whether they do kind of take me up on my offer and they do use me in some capacity.
Mm-hmm. Well, you put yourself on their radar. What else can you do?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I can't do much more. I can't do much more.